The internet. You have to forgive me. Just I was meaning to do a video yesterday, but birthday arrived, and it was opportunity to go work with a few different groups, um, and I ended up at a protest. And then it was actually showed up real late for it. But there was like an upcoming protest put on by separate people. I knew the people who set up the first protest. I was like, it's just like people are aware, something needs to be done. It's a beautiful thing. Um, Second protest arrives. Um, I feel like that shit was a setup to make the first protest look bad because it was. I hear like just loud fighting, arguing. Uh, um, and then it's just like on the megaphones, they're like, "So and so's a predator," and I'm like, who talking about? They're talking about like obviously something with maybe a local government official or something. I get over there and it's just like they're talking about this interpersonal thing they have with their group, and three of them have or four of them have these little megaphones, and they're just like, shut up, we don't want to hear you. And I'm just like, who is this? What this whole thing is? You guys just having this drama. um but I do feel like that was a op though, because it was also like this Zionist lady over uh um uh um talking a bunch of nonsense. It was fun to actually have someone uh defend the points that I only think people on the news are stupid enough to say, like the Persian diaspora, the people who left Iran. It's just kind of like the people who fled Cuba when Castro had his revolution. Um, like those were the slave owners. Those were the people who were extorting the locals. Like that was the criminal cabal. The people there. Yes, there are people who have, but yeah, it was the like this whole brawl. Then we had yeah, that was my dog. Heard the same noise I just did. But um, but yeah, the one of the people who was like most contentious with the Zionist lady, like he was just like every like their whole point wasn't let me hear what you have to say so I could dispel it. It was like just shut up. And I'm just like, that's not what I was actually trying to talk to the people. Like when the first guy who they were saying was a predator, he had his own megaphone. He was trying to respond back to. He was like, I don't want to hear it. I was just like, dude, come over here. I want to hear it. They won't allow it. I want to know what's going on. Um, and just so they could like, what is this whole issue about? And the Zionist lady, it was like one dude who was all in her face. He was like the most just rabid, like yelling and all this. And he took her sign and like ran off, ripped it up. And I was like, yeah, this is. I felt like this is being like I was being punked. Like like they're controlled opposition. They're like making a big scene. So because they were taking pictures and they were like, oh yeah, this is what you guys think. You guys want to steal people. So I'm like, man, I don't condone any of this. I was like, I'm sorry about your whole shit. And the majority of the people who were there, they didn't condone any of it. It was just reminiscent of what you call it, the the North Dakota water, the pipeline out there. Um, when people were super peaceful. They had all these tactics, like none of them involved peace. It was just like, we want to bring more people in, help them understand that this is their fight too. Everyone needs water, right? Um, Once they adopted those tactics, like the corporations sent in disruptors, people with guns, but then the people surrounded the people, the dude with a gun, like this. He does not represent us. But like a lot of these organizations, it's just like, and it's far too many. Like I said, Saul Alinsky, he had this idea like organize with anyone, but don't give them your information. Like as long as you're working towards the same purpose. But a lot of people, they have like this framework of how things work. Even today, like like people just like, yeah, just these damn Republicans and the Trump, and I'm like, the whole government. We keep saying Republican like it's just like just this one half. It's just like Joe Biden is not going to solve this. Kamala Harris, when she was asked about it, like her position was like, yeah, not well, we should Trump should have started war with Iran his first run. Like he think he bad, but yeah, there's like also it was some um oh fudge sickles. Sorry. Yeah, it was some frustrating ICE news, which led to a huge reform win. These people started. It was ICE agents started uh, um, targeting members of the Seattle community. I mean, they had been picking at and in little drips and drabs, but it was a community discussed, and it was just like they collaborated with ICE, and ICE has agreed to not look at any um, potential arrest without um, first going after the Epstein class. So they can't go after anyone who makes less than $250 million a year. They're off the list. Like they get punished for that. Um, like they get higher incentive structure. And then Iran, one of the complicated things with the war, I just wanted to hate Iran so much, but then they 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 wiped everybody's credit. I finally got triple digits, and then I went to quadruple digit. I was like, I didn't even know this was possible. Um, but yeah, this is led to groups of uh, ne'er do wells, or let's just say rabble rousers. They um, they started going after a wide um, array of Epstein of homeboys. But yeah, they ended up um, ICE when they were going after Lindsey Graham. He pulled a pink or maybe a purple princess scepter. It was some kind of a thing. He had it at Disneyland, and they thought it was a 12 gauge shotgun. So they acted precisely. So now we're going to be having candlelight vigils for Lindsey Graham, R.I.P. I mean, he loved blowing the hell out of people. Um, it's just sad that he was being blackmailed by that to do World War III. But we will have like a P Diddy could do like an update to the "We'll Always Love Big Papa." We'll always love uh, Graham Cracker. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. These are just preliminary ideas. But yeah, no, it is tragic what happened. Well, I mean, the ICE collaboration, it hasn't been confirmed, but that's like my birthday wish. It's just like you can convince the people on ICE, like, hey, well, how you going after? Why don't we just make it? We incentivize them to go after the real criminals. Wouldn't that be beautiful? And that just make you smile. you know, because it's like you look at like how they're figuring out how to lock up poor people in new ways and fashions, but the Epstein clients in America, for at least, like they are still running the show, but they're wanted in other countries though. Like God forbid they go to Romania or India. I mean, India is what it is, but um, it's just like why can't they be unsafe here too? Yeah. So ICE, um, don't go after anybody struggling like you. Go after the people who are ripping you off. That is my birthday wish. Not none of the division, none of the people showing up to events. Just have some, and that's always suspicious to me. Like the women who just or just people who don't let you talk. The shut up, the like the people who were at the thing. That's why I was like, dude, I want to know what's going on, because I mean that's like some wild shit. And he's just sitting there, he's like nothing. uh, um but yeah, he was saying that she was also uh, um at other events, like egging on the police senselessly, you know and I could like see that was just, and I've been at those events, like it was a group I used to fuck with when it's like different city. But no, like they did, they were super nice. But then like when we were like we were having stuff, the police would show up, and I realized the police probably have their own agendas and whatnot. But the the um lady who came up was super cool. And like the idea of having a revolutionary movement is that everybody is included. You don't have to tell these people go out there, like, now let me help you understand why it's important, what you could find out what your position is in this. But it's just like there is a transformation that needs to happen. It's like one of the frustrating things, after all these files get leaked, and then I keep coming across media's like, hey, you guys were right about this and this and that. See all the posts. It's like, I used to call y'all conspiracy theorists, people crazy, and it's just like, yeah, you're right about this, that, and I'm like, yeah, that's crazy that you think this. I was telling you all this just so you're like, yeah, you're right. It's just like we need to create it. We all know it's fucked up. We need to have a network that holds people accountable. When you have like people who can affect your life and they have no accountability to listen to you, like you're gonna have what you have now. Like these motherfuckers who are running the country are comically evil, comically just horrible, like transparently bullshitting you. Like they have like, it's like multiple speeches. They got Ted Cruz, was it Pete Hegseth, talking about Iran is a terrorist state. Look at how much money they spend on military. Their people need some help. Hilarious. And do the same shit with Cuba. Marco Rubio. He was talking about like, yeah, look at they spend all this on like their number one export is healthcare. But they still talk about like, yeah, nah, they look at, but they spend some of that on guns. Yeah, because you're our neighbor. Only thing you recognize is bullets, violence. And a happy how do you do? Ah, and this is that's my cockroach. As soon as I found out that Ice killed Lindsey Graham, um, I got a new pet cockroach and I named him Lindsay. That's a good one, huh, Lindsay? It's a good girl. But internet, um, definitely want to check out nateflix.net. Um, there's going to be some transformations. Right now it's just mainly taking you to the Rumble page, rumble.com/Netflix. I got some new content going up over there. But it's going to be transformations in the interface, and then, it's going to open up, and I'm gonna clean it up. I'm a tidy it up. I used to have like a different web server for like a service I was paying for the web interface, but a lot of that's just going to be figured out, and um, yeah, and we're going to have a list of upcoming in person um, entertainment. So, Revolution the Musical coming to a theater near you. Godspeed. Be good to each other, and a happy birthday. I know someone was going to say it. All right. And for my birthday present, give me a revolution. You're present to yourself too.